It is important for us as human beings to do the inner work, take care of our inner child, do the inner child dialogue, understand ourselves, know thyself, and stop harming others through ourselves. So there's a lot of people that divert into drinking alcohol, doing drugs. And again, listen, no judgment. I understand life is hard, but again, it's our responsibility to be a clean vessel to project the right energy outwards because we are electromagnetic humans. We spread that energy out. So again, the world is a reflection of you. So eat healthy, drink a lot of water, and exercise, and do what's right because that's what we need in the world right now.
Today's guest is Sari Mario Sabella, a life force energy sensei and creator of Sabella Method, a revolutionary approach to energy transformation and masculine power. A fourth degree black belt in, I'm not sure how you pronounce this, and I don't want to hash it.
Okinawan Shorin-Ru Shorinkan Karate. It's okay.
Karate, yeah. His unique journey from Jordan to Sri Lanka to America has forged an extraordinary understanding of human potential and energy mastery beyond the dojo. And as a certified coach and wellness guide, Suri mission transcends traditional martial arts training, transforming men and boys' lives by helping them channel raw emotion into authentic power through his masterful blend of martial arts wisdom and energy work. He guides warriors to unlock their deeper strength and purpose. An award winning filmmaker and action actor, Suri's greatest achievements are as a devoted husband, father, and guide to warriors ready to awaken their true force. Welcome, Suri.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I'm absolutely going to love this conversation. Please forgive me. I don't know how to pronounce half of the words, but I'm going to learn a lot. I know that already.
We're always students. We always learn.
Absolutely. So, with that said, what is one of the most courageous things that you have done?
Wow, that's a very great question. There's plenty. I'll keep it as simple as possible. I always stood up for what's right.
Mm,
Uh, as at a very young age, I grew up in the Middle East in Jordan, and the energy there is pretty intense. And I always stood up for what's right, meaning I always defended the feminine. There's a lot of, and I'm not saying that as a whole, there's the
mm,
good, the bad, and the ugly everywhere.
absolutely.
But I always stood up to what's right and protecting cousins, family members, fellow students. And it got me in trouble. I got in a lot of fights growing up, but that didn't stop me from being myself and standing up
Mm,
for what's right. I always faced demons, darkness, entities that tried to bully me or bully
mm,
others, and not on my watch. I do not accept that. I do not allow that. And I still do that. But now I am more grounded
mm,
and I would say, control my anger and be more with intellectual. Like I can decipher things. I can put people's energy down. No need for fight. But for the longest time in my life, just continuously get in street fights and all that.
mhm,
And I am not saying it is the way, but as men, as boys, we do have a lot of energy trapped inside of us and
mm,
outlets.
mhm,
And fortunately and unfortunately for me, that was the way for me to express my emotions when need be.
Gosh, that's quite. really tough because especially I know men have to prove they're strong, masculine, and sometimes it can be a big part of what they're doing, and yet all they want to do is really show their vulnerability.
Correct.
Mm,
Correct. And we are taught at a very
mm,
young age,
mm,
especially boys, to bottle up their emotions, be a man,
yeah.
don't be vulnerable, you'll make you look weak.
Mm-hmm.
Other way around, it is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to show your emotions, but with a balance. We don't want to
Absolutely.
go this extreme. We don't want to go that extreme. We want to hold our ground, be grounded, get in our hearts, in
Mm,
our chi, get out of our minds, and be present in the truth, in the moment of what it is that we are feeling.
yeah, definitely. So tell me more. You must have had, like you said, quite a few fights, like you must have like been black and blue bruised. Is that what got you into your karate?
My father
Mm-hmm.
enrolled me at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
I was 6 years old when I started training karate in
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, and it saved my life many many times.
Mm-hmm.
And again, fights, you win some, you lose some, and this is just the way of life. And no matter how many times you get knocked down, and I'm sure a lot of viewers heard of that, it's always good to stand back up. You don't want to be a victim, you don't want to be defeated. Training at a very young age, it catapulted me to be the best version of myself and face my inner demons per se, because the world is a reflection of us. Training, it started in one dojo. Dojo is a place where we go and train. It's like a gym, but specifically for martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
And at age 12, my family, we were relocated to Sri Lanka. And
Mm-hmm.
that's another, it wasn't a decision of mine. It was my father, because he's a pilot. He had to relocate and move to Sri Lanka. And me facing a new world,
Mm-hmm.
that also shows me courage to move forward with life and accept what comes to me, work through it. So at age 12, I moved to Sri Lanka. I kept some of my training of martial arts. I would do it whenever I can. And again, I was a kid, but whenever I felt there's anger inside me or discomfort, I went into karate and I would just flow. I would do moves, and it made me feel better. I noticed
Mm-hmm.
it was like expressing myself and allowing this energy to come out and calm me down.
Wow. Yeah. Important, I guess. So, how has the unconventional path of training without a traditional dojo, moving from Jordan to Sri Lanka to America, shaped the way you now help men access and channel their life force?
Beautiful question. The world is your dojo. Your body is your dojo. When I kept relocating from one place
Mm-hmm.
to the other, I didn't have just one place to go train. So I had to make my surroundings my place of solitude, my place of training. And it made me realize that you don't actually need to go to a gym, you don't need to go to a dojo. You can have that at home, in your backyard, at the beach, in the forest, in the jungle, at rooftops. So that's how it made me come one with self
Mm-hmm.
and channel my inner warrior spirit and dojo within myself. Because again, our body is our temple. We have to take care of it as such.
Mm,
And of course, there's the ups and downs in life, and we always have to train ourselves to control our anger. And anger can be a weapon. If
yes.
you can control it, use it, but use
Mm,
it in a positive sense. Use it within you to empower you. that the strong is not the one who overcomes the people by his strength, but the strong is the one who can controls himself while in anger.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with this method and realization, I help men tap into trapped energy within their body and allow it to move out of and express themselves. It's not easy to do, but it is steps towards the light.
Definitely. As both a martial arts master and an energy worker, you are bridging two powerful worlds. How does the Sabella method help men transform their pain into purpose in ways that traditional coaching or therapy can't? So, what are you doing that's different?
It's one thing to talk about your feelings,
Uh
and I
huh.
do support that. It is very,
Mm-hmm.
very important. Again, as I mentioned before, we as men, we were trained as a very young age, taught to bottle it
Mm-hmm.
all in
Mm-hmm.
and don't express your emotions. Traditional coaching and therapy is beautiful, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just surface level and it doesn't allow the energy to move out. So my
Mm-hmm.
method is a way to express that, to release that
Mm-hmm.
energy, and it transforms because let's say we bottle in that feeling, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a dis-ease, and
Yeah.
dis-ease is disease, so it
Yes.
transforms into disease. So the idea is whenever you have trauma or bottled up sadness, anger, and by the way, anger is not the primary emotion. there
Okay.
are there is the it's a secondary. So where does this come from? It comes from sadness. Always anger is secondary, sadness is primary. So
Mm-hmm.
we when we are hurt or when we are sad and nobody takes us seriously, we channel this into anger. So people start taking you seriously. Oh, okay, so he's mad now. He's upset, or she's mad. She's
Mm-hmm.
upset. So this method again helps men and women, but I am focusing right now for men to channel that and transform that out of their body. And my method helps men locate that disharmony and trapped energy in their body and allows them to release that emotion because we must take action.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to sit down in darkness and feel all this. If somebody finds himself in a dark place, we should increase the amount of activity, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Spend a lot of time outside in the sun,
Mm-hmm.
go on hikes, let's say, or train. The opposite is if you are in a dark place and you stay at home in your four walls, it is sometimes okay. Like
Yeah.
we need that solitude, that feelings, but it is very important to go up and out and move our
Mm-hmm.
bodies because
Mm-hmm.
nowadays a lot of people live in their mind,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
we need to let go of that.
Mm-hmm.
There is no mind. We go into our body, to the physical world, and move that energy. And Bruce Lee once said, running water never grows stale. So you got
Absolutely.
to just keep on flowing like water. Be like water, my friend. And this
Love
always
it.
resonated with me because it makes a lot of sense. If you leave water just like that, it becomes stale, and
Mm-hmm.
bacteria, viruses, all that's become mold. It creates that disease, the disease. But if it's always moving, if it's always flowing, there is no room for that. So, again, my method would help men transform that emotions, that anger into power, become their warrior selves.
That's really good. What are three of the most important aspects of men's work and why?
Oh, beautiful. Gives me chills. Discipline, ambition, and shadow work.
Wow.
Discipline
Mm-hmm.
slash honor, because we have to keep ourselves in check to
Mm-hmm.
stay on the righteous path and do what's honorable.
Absolutely.
Then ambition,
Mm-hmm.
because without drive and imagination, we are unable to embody our purpose and passions.
Yeah, for sure.
Shadow work, meaning inner dialogue with the demons, the shadow work within us, because it's critical to befriend our inner demons rather than fight or avoid them. What is understood is never feared. We have to understand ourselves, understand what it is that is triggering us, why. And we all have that. Nobody's
Mm,
perfect in life,
mm,
but it is our responsibility to take action when needed. I cannot be sitting here dwelling in my pain and shadows and feel like a victim. Oh, poor me. I am
mm.
then, but then I become angry because I want to, okay, you don't listen to me. I'm going to start destroying shit around. This is when toxic masculinity comes from.
Yeah,
It is our responsibility as men and honorable men to be protectors of our world, to protect the feminine, protect the children. And that's what we see now in the world, unfortunately, is hurt little children that are grown to become adults, but within themselves they are still hurt and causing pain around them. That
absolutely.
is not the way, my friend. You have to
Mm,
take honor and responsibility, stand up for what's right, and make peace on earth. What kind of world do you want to live with destruction all the time? That's weak.
absolutely.
That is weak. And I will
Mm,
repeat that. And I will face any demon that tells me otherwise with a smile on my face, with love in my heart, and
mm,
nothing will stop me. And
mm.
I know there's plenty of men out there that do believe of what I am saying, and
I'm
they're doing
sure.
the work.
Mm.
So we do need to do so.
Absolutely. There's like so many key points there you've just touched on in, explaining that. Because unless, like, I think for us women, we're more easily happy to face our shadow work and look at our inner child. But with men, boys, they don't really see that. But I think it's so important, like what you're doing, having somewhere to go and through your karate and through your actions, and they still feel masculine. That's not, nobody's going to sit in a corner, that really want to have a coaching session talking about their feelings. So the way you're doing it, I can totally understand that it would. And absolutely right. Moving your body all the time. You know, our body is designed to move, hunt, gather. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have to keep on keeping on no matter what comes our way.
Mm,
There is no excuse. There
yeah.
is no excuse. Only the weak has
Mm,
excuse.
mm,
And if this hurts anybody's feelings, face these feelings and do
mm,
what's right.
yeah.
And it is your world. Your world. It is a projection. The world around you
Mm,
is a projection of who you are. And we can stay in the mind and create these stories, these, oh,
mm,
poor me, all that, but you don't that that doesn't define you.
mm.
It doesn't have to, because you can change, and change is the inevitable thing in life. It's the most consistent.
Absolutely.
Whether you like it or not, it's gonna change.
Absolutely.
But let's change for the better.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And there's another thing where it is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
I like it.
So be that warrior,
Mm,
protect your garden,
mm,
water your plants,
mm,
let life bloom, be beautiful. Take care of that, take care of your family, take care of your wife, your loved ones, your kids.
mm, mm.
Give them that, but always be ready for what comes, what is necessary. And never
Absolutely.
coward, face it head on.
Absolutely. So, with that said, tell me more about your work and what it actually involves. I mean, and
Uh,
just before we go into that, it must be a real lot of discipline to be a fourth time black belt. Just tell me about that because, doing it the first time must be hard, but four
yes,
times?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But again, We are always students.
Yeah.
And a black belt is a white belt that never gave up.
Oh.
So I got my first black belt
Mm-hmm.
when I was 19. I
Mm-hmm.
flew to Okinawa with my uncle. He was my immediate sensei. I had to test in front of the headmaster of that branch,
Mm-hmm.
Okinawan Shorinru Shorinkan. And that takes courage because you by yourself on the platform doing specific katas. Katas are forms
Mm-hmm.
that you memorized and built this memory in your body
Mm-hmm.
to express your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not moves, but it's expression. It has to go with
Mm-hmm.
power, speed, technique, precision. So, one, great. I had to keep on going because, okay, I'm a black belt. I can
Mm-hmm.
walk around and say, I'm a black
Mm-hmm.
belt
Mm-hmm.
in karate and allow my ego to grow, right? And that's not what we need to do. We
Mm-hmm.
need to be humble. I went through this. I honor myself. I respect myself, and it defines me, but I should not stay at that plateau. I should always grow. So it's always a step. It's nice to rest and be and marinate in it, but it's also important to keep on growing. So once, twice, three times, and the fourth, I specifically went to fourth because when you have the fourth degree, you are an actual teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You are certified to teach that martial arts tradition. I do so as well. This is part of my package.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from Sabella Method, I can teach you that art, and that's the reason why I kept pushing myself to grow and not just to stay at one surface and walk around talking about I have a black belt. And I usually don't. I am very quiet about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I believe to be in life.
That's
Because there are a
brilliant.
lot of martial artists out there and they are higher belts that walk around and say that and they
Mm-hmm.
have an ego, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't want that. You don't want the ego.
Absolutely. So, tell me more about your acting and being a stuntman then. Did that kind of fall into place because of what your karate and your moves and everything?
Absolutely, absolutely. I had always a passion.
Mm,
I'm a storyteller as well. I like to write. I write poetry sometimes. I write
mm.
stories. I direct. I create my own.
Wow.
Yes, I. It's on my YouTube
Mm,
channel.
mhm, mm,
And I've worked in the industry for quite a while, and martial arts helped me pave that way because I am very good with body movements and expressing that, and it led me to different doors and windows, and I chose to take that path, and I always
mhm,
had that passion within when I was a kid,
mhm.
and one way me growing up was watching movie because it was an outlet for me to escape my
Yeah.
reality and be um, one with myself and just look at the screen,
Mm,
and it brought expression to what I do. And I moved from Jordan to United States when I was 17. Slowly but surely started finding some people who have the same passion and
mhm,
create, and creation is so important. It's so
mhm,
great. Like because it brings out, if you think about it, the heart has art in it,
mhm,
and through art you can express yourself. And with film, I start becoming more into stunt action and stunt man
mhm,
and all that. And I am still dabbling in that, but not as much because the recovery rate as we get older is not as as simple as I was in my
mhm,
20s
mhm,
or 30s. So now I'm just being a little wiser with the path that I'm taking. I'm still dabbling. I'm gonna
Mm,
produce. I'm gonna write. I'm
mhm,
creating all
mhm.
that, and this is, yeah, part of what it is. That
Wow. I'll
yeah.
be waiting to look at it, watch it.
Thank you, thank you. I can
Oh,
send you links too.
yeah, definitely.
It is important for us as human beings to do the inner work,
Mm,
take care of our inner child, do
mhm,
the inner child dialogue, understand ourselves, know thyself, and stop harming others through ourselves. So there's a lot of people that divert into drinking alcohol, doing drugs. And again,
absolutely.
listen, no judgment. I
Mhm.
understand life is hard, but again, it's our responsibility to be a clean vessel to project
Mm,
the right energy outwards because we are electromagnetic humans. We spread that energy out. So again, you are your world is a reflection of you. So eat healthy, drink a lot of water, and exercise and do what's right
mm,
because that's what we need in the world
mm.
right now.
Yeah, definitely. Can't echo it enough. Definitely. What resources do you recommend, tools, daily steps to anyone that wants to start channeling their raw emotions into authentic power?
Whatever feels true to who you are.
Hmm.
I could sit here and tell you karate is the way. It worked for me. There's other methods that they can take. Any martial arts, you can do kung fu,
Mm,
taekwondo, jujitsu, karate, muay thai. There's so many martial arts that help build your body. Don't go too extreme because you don't want to injure yourself, but
mhm,
always have that discipline to step into what's uncomfortable because through discomfort
mhm,
comes growth.
mhm, mhm,
We don't want to be comfortable. We want to face what's difficult because that's how we grow and that's how we prove to ourselves that we are capable of facing obstacles in our life. Again, we need to move, to keep on flowing, keep the energy going. And
definitely.
I believe this is a way of being in life.
Mm, definitely. So, Siri, where can the listeners find you online? What's your website?
SariSabella.com. On Instagram, Sari.Sabella. It's at Sari.Sabella.
Mhm.
And YouTube, same thing, Sari Sabella.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing your insightful wisdom and knowledge with us today. And by doing so, you have helped so many other people and made a difference. I really want to acknowledge you for that. Sari Mario Sabella.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, Anita, and I appreciate what you do and the questions that you ask and the purpose that you're bringing light to this world. And I'm sure you have a beautiful story behind the beautiful character that you are. So
Thank you.
thank you again. And it's been a pleasure and it's been an honor. I appreciate you truly.
Thank
And
you.
much love to your listeners. Love and live and let live.
Thank you. I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Thank you. So,
Absolutely.
we are all about Create the Courage to Be Fearless podcast. What is your definition of courage?
Ooh, courage. Without fear, there's no courage. And fear and darkness is here to bring us to our powers. So courage is a way to face that, do what's right, and speak your truth. Wow, that was a very good question. Courage. Yeah, I would say courage is facing what it is that you fear. And again, fear is an illusion. We can sit there and dwell in it and be scared and be a victim, but it's truly a projection of our imagination. We just have to be courageous to face it and be in our light, be in our truth, and speak it and be it. It's one thing to speak it, one thing to embody that courage.